It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Sunday Stock Watch, series I post every Sunday where I let you guys know what stocks I'm personally keeping an eye on going into the trading week. As always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, of course, TradingView got a few charts to look at with you guys today, primarily falling under the COVID biotech sector. I'm sure you guys assume that from the title already. So I'm excited to look over some of those with you guys for reasons that are very obvious to all of us at this point. But of course, kicking it off with the S&P 500, the SPY, because I want to give you guys my current take on the equity markets as we head into the trading week, all right? To go along with general equities, we have this article, Trump urges Congress to pass new coronavirus stimulus, and I quote, get it done. I'm sorry to any of you guys who watched me cover this exact article in yesterday's video, but this is so important in my mind, especially in terms of general equities, okay? As you guys know, I've been saying for the past couple weeks, a stimulus package, a successful stimulus that's actually in law, that's agreed upon by both parties, is the single most important catalyst to a continued rally within the equity markets. And not only the equity markets, but every market that's not the dollar. So gold, silver, Bitcoin, I'm bullish on all three of those as well. Okay, so stimulus equals more money printing, equals a weaker dollar, equals stronger equities. You guys remember I said that on Friday. Okay, so we'll cover this. This is very important in regard to the markets overall. Moving on to, again, the COVID biotechs. The sector is going to be hot this week, you guys. I can feel it. Trump receiving Remdesivir antiviral drug as part of experimental treatment. Okay, so Remdesivir, obviously produced by Gilead. We will take a look at Gilead Stock on the charts, and this is huge news for Gilead. We'll go over this article and again look at them on the charts. Not only Gilead, but Regeneron as well. So we'll read that when we get to it. President Trump has received a dose of experimental treatment from Regeneron. Regeneron also part of that antibody cocktail that Trump has been receiving in his fight against COVID, you guys. And I want to say one more time, I've been saying this in every video this week, but no matter which side you guys fall on, you should hope Trump kicks this thing in the ass, all right? He's our president. Wish the best for him, okay? So just want to get that off right off the bat. And of course, you guys, before we do get into it, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do want to gain value from it, or if you're invested in any of the stocks we're talking about today. If you were early on any of these, congrats. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. And of course, check out my complete portfolio if you want a complete breakdown of my entire portfolio that I update every trading day. With every update, I also send an email newsletter explaining my thoughts. First link in the description, you guys. These are crazy times. If you want to know how I'm exactly trading it and get real-time updates during market hours from myself, check it out. First link in the description. I appreciate it if you do. If not, no worries. Let's get into this. So again, before we get into any technicals, of course, we got to cover some fundamentals. So Trump urges Congress to pass new coronavirus stimulus. Get it done. In the words of Trump himself, all caps. Key points, we'll just read the key points here. Trump puts pressure on Congress to pass a coronavirus stimulus deal, telling lawmakers to work together and get it done, in his words. Trump's tweet about the pandemic relief comes as the president receives treatment for COVID-19 at Walter Reed Medical Center, so I believe that's a military hospital. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin are working towards striking a stimulus deal, but have said that they still have disagreements. Okay, so again, you guys, this is good news. And in the article that we covered yesterday, that wasn't this one, but the other one talking about how Nancy Pelosi believes that this should sway the right to hopefully have a little more empathy for the reality and the gravity of this virus. Okay, so again, you guys, now that our figurehead, now that the president of the United States has caught this virus, and the gravity just got way heavier. Things just got way more real, very fast. And again, in the words of Trump himself, he wants them to resolve this issue, stop butting heads, and get things done, and for the good of not only the economy and the markets. Again, you guys, it will obviously pump the markets if we get more stimulus. Again, you guys, a weaker dollar, more printed money equals a weaker dollar equals stronger equities and assets. Okay, but not only that, it's not only good for the markets. People need this. People need stimulus. People who are struggling, and there's a lot of them right now, really need stimulus. Unemployment's still terrible. The job numbers are bad, and there's just layoffs everywhere, and even huge corporations like Disney, airlines, and everything. We've seen that. So we need this stimulus, not only for the markets, but for the good of, humanity within the United States. All right, so in terms of the SPY, again, you guys, from a technical perspective on the SPY, I'm extremely bullish because I do believe that we will, and I am optimistic towards the fact that we will get a stimulus package. I think we can easily come up to test this area. Same thing I said on Friday, you guys. Same rules apply here, that we will easily come up to test this line that was once a line of support on the SPY on this rally up since the March lows and use it as a line of resistance. With the stimulus package confirmed, I think we could easily break out of that and break to new all-time highs. Again, you guys, when the dollar is being devalued and so much of it, so many dollars are being printed, it ultimately devalues the dollar. You can't just print things out of thin air without consequences, okay? And maybe it might not seem like it now, but inflation will take place over an elongated period of time. That's 100% in my mind. And again, you guys, not only COVID biotechs, but going into this week, I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin, gold, and silver. I will talk about those three going into this week as well. I'm actually planning on dropping a video on silver specifically tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. I'm excited to talk to you guys about silver and why I'm bullish on silver. But anyway, let's get into the COVID biotechs. Trump receiving Remdesivir antiviral drug as part of experimental treatment. Moving on down here, we'll just read a couple paragraphs here. President Donald Trump is receiving an experimental antiviral for COVID-19 called Remdesivir as he remains hospitalized at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. The drug is being given as a part of a double-barrel treatment plan that includes an antibody cocktail meant to give the president's immune system a boost to fight off coronavirus. The president was given the first dose of Remdesivir Friday evening and will be on a 5-day course of the IV drug. His physician, Dr. Sean Conley, said during his news conference on Saturday. Remdesivir, manufactured by Gilead Sciences, works by lowering the amount of virus in the body. Clinical trial data published in May found that the drug reduces patients' length of hospital stay by about 4 days, from 15 days to a median of 11 days. So great news, you guys. Again, Trump is going to have the best care in the world. Money is not an issue. Access is not an issue. He has access to literally everything. And I imagine that this was dictated, like this procedure was figured out well in advance. I do believe that this, because again, you guys, this is the president of the United States. You have to believe that this had to be something that they were considering might potentially happen, and they do have a plan of attack in the emergency case that it does happen, which it did. And I feel like this was already set in stone even prior to him getting it. Okay, so again, Remdesivir, Gilead. Let's take a look at Gilead right now. Gilead is actually low, like historically low right now. So as you can see here, Gilead floating at $62 with a market cap. Market cap is the most important thing, you guys, at $78 billion. So Gilead, it's a pretty large company, but not as big as I thought it was, and not as big, not significant, not nearly as high as it was a few months back. Okay, so I remember Gilead being a big company, and I really haven't kept too much of an eye on it because I personally like smaller, more kind of asymmetric upside potential companies. But Gilead, you guys, if Remdesivir works, this is huge news for Gilead. And you can see here, even back in May when there was just hype pumping this stock, Gilead was at $85. It's now corrected significantly to $60. So if this works, you guys, then again, you guys, it will take time. It's not like, oh, this works, we're just gonna pump it out to everyone who has it. But that starts that's the first snowball. That starts that snowball effect in favor of Gilead, just producing loads and loads of this thing. Okay, so Gilead, I mean, again, you guys, historically, let's go like 5 years out. I'll show you guys some of these lines I have drawn. So Gilead spent a lot of time. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Gilead pop up to $85 in the near future. Again, you guys, if this say Trump, unfortunately, almost don't even want to say it, but say he doesn't pull through. Say Gilead and Regeneron, these antibodies that they provided, don't pull through, then that's bad news for Gilead. Of course, that's bad news for both of them, obviously. But on the high side, you guys, you can see here that back in, and I don't know if they've done a stock split or something, because that would obviously affect the price. But back here in July of 2015, Gilead was at a high of $120. So that's that's about a perfect, so $124, that's almost a perfect 2x from where it's sitting at currently. So you guys, if this works, Gilead 2x, it would bring it to about $150 billion market cap. Completely reasonable in my mind for a company that has the cure for the coronavirus, or at least makes it not as deadly. All right, so that's where kind of Moderna specifically comes into mind here. So treatment, Gilead, Regeneron, Sorrento is at the smaller market cap side. You guys know I cover Sorrento all the time, but Sorrento working on a treatment as well. It will be interesting to see how this affects not only these stocks, but Sorrento, which is a treatment stock as well. It's competing specifically in the treatment realm. And then Moderna, which I'm very bullish on. You guys know that's my vaccine play. That's a play I've chosen in terms of vaccine. How this will affect Moderna. Because you guys, all eyes are on COVID right now. COVID is once again at the forefront of everyone's minds. That's very important in this current market environment we're in, where hype drives stocks. And you guys, there's so much hype around COVID biotechs, the companies working towards a cure for COVID. So that's why it will be very interesting to see how it affects not only the companies working towards a treatment like Gilead and Regeneron, which are especially at the forefront of everyone's minds now, every trader's minds right now, but companies working towards a vaccine like Moderna. Okay, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Let's move on to here's everything we know about the unapproved antibody drug Trump took to combat coronavirus. President Trump has received a full dose of experimental treatment from Regeneron as well. Doctors have said that they have mixed feelings about that, given that the antibody cocktail has not yet been approved. Dr. Scott Gottlieb notes that it's not necessarily any cause for alarm regarding the president's health. Okay, so I've seen some articles as well talking about how it's a very bad sign, it's very negative that Trump is receiving these antibodies. And it makes, we did just cover an article yesterday talking about how Trump's vitals were looking a little worrisome go over the course of this weekend. So we'll have to see what happens, you guys. This is obviously the biggest news in the world right now. This is the most covered story, not only in the US, but in the world. And you're getting kind of minute-to-minute coverage. So even probably by the time I post this video, this could very well change. So forgive me if we're a little late on anything, but I'm just working with what I have available to me right now. Anyway, you guys, this is regardless very bullish. I know Regeneron was up on Fridays pretty significantly after hours after that news dropped. Gilead, not so much, but I'm not sure if that's if Gilead released that news prior to after market on Friday closing. So we'll have to see what happens to Gilead. Again, Gilead's just an appealing buy right now because it's like at almost an all-time, not quite an all-time low. What's the all? Okay, no, oh yeah, I forgot we were so damn zoomed out here. So, I mean, Gilead is at such a strong area of resistance that I can't imagine Gilead not going up. So Gilead is looking very promising to me, you guys. Once again, you guys, I'm for sure considering trading Gilead this week. If you guys do want to know the exact likely call options I establish, complete portfolio daily newsletter, have zero guilt plugging that right now. First link in the description. Okay, so moving on from there. Yeah, Regeneron. So we just talked Regeneron as well. Gilead, let's hit up Regeneron right now. Regeneron is a little less appealing looking than Gilead, especially due to its high stock price, especially if you guys trade options. You guys, these are going to be super, super expensive contracts. Even to hold a single share. Lucky for fractional shares, if you guys want to play this from a fractional share perspective, that's very doable as well. I'm probably not going to do this. Market cap of 60 billion. So Regeneron is a smaller company still than Gilead, by about 25%, which is significant. And again, you guys, Regeneron it just looks less appealing to me because it is at an all-time, not an all-time high right now, but it's currently bouncing around previous highs. Its all-time high was at 660. It's currently at 560. So actually pretty significantly below the highs it was at. Remember, you guys, over the course of the past month or so, the COVID biotech sector as a whole, Moderna, SRNE, everything has corrected significantly because the hype kind of died down. But now I do believe the hype is back. The hype is back with real momentum now. And again, you guys, the further we progress into these companies developing these treatments, these vaccines, working towards a cure for COVID, the less hype takes place and the more fundamentals take place. Okay, so the closer these guys get, the stronger the fundamentals get, and the less hype driven these companies become. And that's what drove them up initially over the course of the past few months. You guys, we've been covering these for months now, and initially it was a lot more hype than fundamentals, but now the fundamentals are catching up and overtaking the hype, which makes me even more bullish because now we have the hype as well. So we have both the fundamentals and the hype on our side right now, which makes me exceptionally bullish on the sector as a whole. So I mean, you guys, I think we'll call it there. Sum this video up. I've said it so many times already. Watch the COVID biotech sector. Watch what it does. Watch what this news like this, primarily focused on treatment companies, does to vaccine companies like Moderna, smaller ones like Inovio, Novavax, BioNTech. Watch what it does to these stocks and just learn from it. Always be learning, guys. Always know what affects. Because then, you guys, sectors are always correlated. Although they are competing, there is heavy correlation within these sectors, primarily, again, because it drives hype to these specific sectors. So keep an eye on this sector specifically this week. Again, you guys, I'm bullish on any dollar hedges, like gold, silver, and Bitcoin specifically. I will talk about those more. Once again, stay tuned for the silver video tomorrow. Excited to show you guys that one. So yeah, also let me know down below which companies in this sector you're excited about right now, which ones you're trading, and always love talking to you guys, always love learning from you guys. So I'll catch you downstairs, and until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.